What is going on, you guys? I am back here with another video, but still in lockdown. So this week I thought I'd do a what's in my camera bag 2021 edition. And if you've seen any of my past videos, this is pretty much the kit that I use. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so right from the get-go, I absolutely love this bag. This is my Peak Design 10 litre. Pretty much everything I need to shoot in, I put in this bag. So it's only a small bag, but I do like the fact that it has heaps of pockets. As you can see, just there's a pocket here, there's a whole bunch of pockets here. It has two dividers, which I think is perfect. I do have the 30 litre, but I just think it's generally too big 9 times out of 10. So I just usually end up taking this, and I find that if you have a bigger bag, you're more likely to take more gear. So I find that this 10 litre is absolutely perfect. So one of the great things about that Sling 10 litre is that it has so many pockets, and I always carry so many random bits and pieces in there. Like, I actually broke the eye cup on my Canon 6D, which is what I'm filming on at the moment. And I actually ended up finding another eye cup, didn't fit it, but I carry these in the bag. I don't know why these specifically, but I just think they're super useful to have, I guess. I also usually have a whole bunch of random GoPro accessories in there as well. They're super handy to have, but and I also carry just a whole bunch of other random stuff like batteries and all that kind of stuff. So super handy and just so much potential in that bag. It doesn't fit a laptop, that's the only thing, but if you're taking it with you, you're probably not going to be using a laptop from what you're doing. The other thing that I also take with me pretty much 90 to 95% of the time is also the Mavic Air. It is a first gen one, but I find this little guy just super useful. Depending on what I'm doing, if I'm usually going out chasing waterfalls or something like that, pretty much always lives in my bag. I also generally take at least 3 batteries as well, because I find they last about 18 minutes for what I'm doing. But yeah, pretty much lives in my bag. Super compact, folds up really nice. Takes up next to no room. And the other accessory that I have with that is also the filters for the Mavic Air. So they literally just screw on the front, they just go together, and yeah, get some really good content with it. The one thing I will say is that the Mavic Air in the bag, I wish that they had just made a little bit more room so I could put the filters in. Like, the filters aren't that big, but with the remote, it comes with a bag, a little like semi-hard case. Yeah. Be nice to have something in there, but it does kind of fit in with the drone, but otherwise, yeah, it'd be nice to have something on that side as well. So just a thought. Okay, so this next item sort of comes and goes, but generally if I'm shooting more waterfall stuff, this is a newer edition item. I generally keep it in my bag just for really fun kind of walk around stuff, and that is the Fujifilm X100V. So really great little camera, has a little 27mm pancake lens on the front of it, f2. The presets are really cool, the film presets are really cool inside this. But otherwise, I find it's just really fun to play around with anyway, and the colors on it are really good as well. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. So the other thing as well that pretty much always lives in my camera are these SD cards. So I normally have a few floating around in the bag at pretty much all times, but I do also like to keep a faster one on hand as well. So one of the UHS 2 cards, and that's always just for if you need something a bit faster than just a standard Extreme Pro or Extreme card. But yeah, pretty much leaving my camera. If you're a photographer, you already know where it's at. The other thing that's super handy to have as well is one of these, an SD card wallet. So, or an SD card case. So this is actually a waterproof one, but there's a whole bunch out there. I recommend going with something like this. If you're using cameras that have multiple SD cards or multiple size SD cards, for example, GoPro, or if you're using some sort of action camera that takes micro SD cards, or even if you're using CF Express type A cards, they'll mostly fit in that slot, but otherwise this one holds SD cards and micro SD cards. So yeah, pretty much lives in my bag. Okay, so this next item doesn't always come with me, but if I'm shooting film, then I'll generally take my film camera, and this is just a Pentax SPO 738. So simple setup. You just have the film in the back there, and then I'll generally take a roll or two of film depending on what I want to shoot. So sometimes I'll take color roll, and sometimes I'll take black and white. Otherwise I'll also take just a mix depending on how I feel when I'm shooting. So one of the other things that pretty much always stays with me, and it doesn't necessarily go in my bag, but it always stays with me, is the Gorilla Pod. So this is a Joby 5K one, which can hold up to 5 kilos. Yeah, like you can see, super flexible, really handy contraption or device or item to have. Yeah, you don't necessarily need the 5K one, but yeah, just check out Gorilla Pods if you haven't already. Highly recommend one of these. So if you watch my other vlogs, or if you're a regular subscriber to this channel, you know that I pretty much always go out at night or go into the evening, go shooting to capture sunsets and whatnot. So one of the other things that predominantly lives in my bags, amongst other things, are sparklers. I have a whole bunch of these. I just find that if you're doing long exposures, or if you're doing light painting in the dark, these sorts of things are super useful. If nothing else, you can get some cool shots with them. So this next item is a new addition, and I actually haven't had a chance to use this because we pretty much went in lockdown shortly after I received this, but I have kept this in my bag for a long time, and I can't actually wait to get out there and start using it, and that is this here lens ball. So this is one of those awesome reflective balls, which basically completely transparent, but they reflect the image, as you can see in the globe. So yeah, can't wait to try that out a bit more. So one of the last few items that I pretty much always take with me if I'm shooting the same sort of stuff is a light wand and the battery for it. So battery pretty much goes in this little slot here, and then that turns on like so. You can go a range of different colors. I've used this in a few previous videos, but yeah, you got like red and green, and then blue as well. So yeah, if you're shooting a lot of stuff at night, highly recommend one of these light ones. This is the Yongnuo one. I think it's the YN360. So yeah, super fun. You get some awesome shots with it. So the other thing that I do take with me as well is the VideoMic Pro Plus, which I'm recording on at the moment. So the only thing I would say about this mic is that it does power independently of the camera. So if you have the camera on, doesn't mean it's necessarily recording, but otherwise if you remember to turn it on, yeah, great microphone, really great sound. I pretty much use it in all my videos. So last but not least is the Canon 6D Mark II, which I use for some of my videos. I also have the Sony a7 III as well, which is super useful. I use pretty much 16 to 35 or 24 to 70, depending on what I'm wanting to capture. But yeah, great cameras. The 6D Mark II is a little bit heavy, but otherwise has really decent face tracking, which I use all the time. Sony does have the autofocus, but yeah, really great cameras and super handy. The only thing with the Sony, obviously, is that it doesn't have the flippy screen, but still really great cameras. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed a bit of an insight into what I pack when I generally go shooting. All these products will be linked down below, so make sure to go check it out. The other thing as well is that I've started a podcast with Rob, who's in some of my other previous videos. If you go check out Project Oztog, which will be linked up here or here, that would be super helpful, where we speak about all things photographics and creative life. So if you enjoyed that one, go check it out. But otherwise, go follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. See ya.